Hello everyone, Pallytime here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. Turns out I'm feeling worse today than I was yesterday. Always good to move in the wrong direction. But we have a new patch. Kharazim is now on the live servers. People have been playing him for a few hours now. And I wanted to go in and try a hybrid build for him. I have played him several times on the PTR, but always focused on healing. So now that he's out, we can try some other stuff. I probably should have done that on the PTR so it did not negatively affect my MMR if we lost. But hey, you know what? Whatever. There's also a new mount added to the game. This is the Treasure Goblin. Cost me 20,000 of my gold. I'm feeling a little poor again. But we are going to use that and hopefully get a good match today.
Guide my path.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, after a very long wait, we have finally arrived on the Haunted Mines. Let's go ahead and punch this guy to death. So, I did say I wanted to go for a hybrid build, but we don't have a support and they have two. So maybe we'll have to think about hybrid in a different way. Maybe we can think about support and utility being part of us being a hybrid. I don't know. But we are going to go for Insight Basic Attacks, Restore Mana. This is a necessity for me specifically. Let's go ahead and take a look at this mount, though. He looks like he's doing some work. Let's say hi to the friends. Our Q ability, if you've never seen the monk before, is Radiant Dash. I'm probably going to call this Dashing Strike a lot, because that's what it's called. That's what it's called in Diablo. Our W ability, Breath of Health. Oh, okay, it dashes me to a target. Anything that has a health bar that's not a building, we can dash right to it. Our W ability is Breath of Heaven. This is a heal in a very small radius, so you have to basically be in melee range in order to heal. And then our E ability is Deadly Reach. This is going to increase our attack speed pretty significantly, and also increase our attack range by 100%. So it's going to double our attack range. I believe it doubles our attack speed as well. This can be used prematurely as well, and then it will just activate when you go in. So for instance, the next time I attack something, we are going to gain the benefits of that ability, as you can see here. One of the best auto attack animations in the entire game, if I do say so myself. Alright, so we're on the Haunted Mines. Not too sure how well the monk's going to perform here, if I'm totally honest. I had a lot of practice playing him. Our Johanna needs to be careful, as Diablo could just plant her on the other side of that wall. He tried to do it to me, though. I had a lot of practice with him on the new map. Ooh, and he excels on the new map, actually. He excels in areas where people are going to be clumped up. This map, however, the enemy team may not be clumping up that much, so we'll kind of have to see how that goes. Go ahead and punch this down. Hopefully get off one more heal. As you can see, with this talent at level 1, we get to pick our trait, and with the Mana Return trait, we basically hardly ever have to go back for a sippy cup or anything. You know the feeling when you're trying to sleep with your sister? No. Oh, that sounds good. That was unexpected. Okay. Let's get these skulls. Probably going to have to back up here. Our kill thought's not looking too good. I'm going to go ahead and activate Deadly Reach. Just try to bring some pain onto Tassadar here. Switching over to Illidan now. We do have Johanna with us. Just going to try to heal for as much as I can, although it's not looking too good for us. I'm going to try to dip out this way. Bot lane is still not in the mines, however, which is a big problem. That's a very, very big problem. I'm not going to be able to dash anywhere at all. We can go over here and die to Jim Raynor. Any reason you didn't go mines at all? We basically entered from the top. We did what we could. We were waiting for backup from the friendly team down here, but that never came. Sergeant Hammer is trying to deal damage to a tower now, which is going to grant 400 XP. And I guess if we're trying to be optimistic, we could argue that the first golem usually doesn't matter too much. But hey, whatever. We are going to go for Foresight on our Q ability. This is going to allow us to reveal an area. This map, for the most part, has a lot of nooks and crannies that enemies can hide in. So we're going to try to reveal those. So basically every time I dash, we're going to reveal an area about that big. They're still pushing down here in the bottom. Looks like we want to go for the middle bruisers right now. The enemy team is going to have a very healthy golem to contest us with. As of right now, only Kael'thas responding to the pings. Kael'thas was actually the one pinging, so you kind of hope so. Let's go ahead and dash. That doesn't reveal as much of an area as I was hoping. We can only reveal one area at a time. So if we were to dash again, that initial area would go away. We are going to use this siege golem camp to help us defend against the 79 skull golem of the enemy team. Looks like the bottom lane not going well yet again as the enemy team does show up and wreck their faces. We don't want to cap this right away, so I'm just going to walk out of the area. And we are going to wait for the enemy team's golem to walk this way. We are going to wait until he crosses this precipice. And now we walk onto the point. This will allow these siege golems to defend for us. Kind of make this line a lot harder to pass. And with the Sergeant Hammer on our team as well, that'll be even better. The enemy team should not get too far in here. Or at least that's the hope. That's the dream. Let's try to keep our new Barak alive. Our healing isn't going to be too great if I go hybrid, so we may have to change our plan. I don't hate this vision thing. It'll be more useful once we get our whole team into the mines, obviously. I want to be able to take down... Yeah, there we go. I was going to say, I want to be able to take down this Illidan, though, so I think I'm going to build for that. I know we could get more healing right now. I know we can. But Way of 100 Fists, Radiant Dash launches a volley of blows, dealing damage that Illidan cannot evade out of. That's 300 guaranteed damage that I can do twice. Illidan is going to take a considerable amount of damage from that, so that's nothing to be ignored. The enemy team is pushing top right now. Looks like we may try to focus down the monk here. I don't know how good of an idea that is, as Jim Raynor is right on the other side of this wall. Johanna should be able to get out of here just fine, though. It looks like Sergeant Hammer did die down in the bottom lane. Sergeant Hammer possibly overextending. I'm not too sure where she died at, but I do know that Anubarak is now dueling Illidan himself, which usually doesn't go very well for Anubaraks. It was actually going just fine, but he did have reinforcements on the way. So, both of the golems have been dealt with. We actually ended up being about the same. Oh, the dimensional shift from Tassadar actually nullifying the damage I was going to do on my Q there. Not bad, not bad. Here we go, going in on the monk. And then try... Nope, not going to happen. I was going to try to dash to the friendly Kael'thas, but Diablo had other plans. If they're going to focus me, that should be fine. We just... I was going to say we just dashed to our Johanna, but our Johanna actually moved towards me rather than continuing on her path. So when I did dash to her, I was basically in range of all the people I was already in range of, which was a little unfortunate. She probably didn't know. Not a big deal. Just one death. Sergeant Hammer now up in the top lane, should be in siege mode to try to stop these guys. Is doing that now. Kael'thas coming in for a little bit of damage too. A lot of people saying that Kael'thas was nerfed in this patch. I am not a believer of that at all. Going in on the enemy monk now. We are going to get deadly strikes ready, trying to deal that damage. Now we do have to move with the character after we dash in to deal that damage. I guess it's not just guaranteed. So we are going to have to continue to chase them down every time we do that. Would not be a bad idea to set up for a gank here. The enemy team probably has enough confidence to just follow us right in. Yes, they do. Here we go, going in on the monk. Deal as much damage as possible. This is a great situation for us to deal some AoE damage in, or excuse me, some AoE healing in, and we are doing just that. I'm going to dip out before Raynor is able to kill me, grab this sippy cup, and then go back in. Now, do I want Seven-Sided Strike, or do I want Divine Palm? Divine Palm is the way to go, for sure. We are going to palm our... There we go, saving Johanna right there with the palm. We are going to keep her alive and hopefully dash into this Illidan here. There we go, dealing that damage, taking him down, and now we have full reign over the mines. It was a split-second decision on ultimates, and it was made because of that fight. So I hope it works out for us. That talent in general, very, very, very strong. And considering we have a siege tank on our team, we can use Divine Palm to keep that siege tank alive even longer. Going in on the enemy monk here, we are going to take him down, trying to heal as much as I can. Divine Palm still on cooldown for another 20 seconds. Moving in on Diablo, but we are cut off by a force wall. Just going to continue to AoE heal. Whenever we do use our W ability for that heal, we are also gaining a movement speed increase, so it does allow us to keep up with characters that we are trying to burst down. Illidan coming in once again on the siege tank. We are trying to deal as much damage to him as we can. And he is going to be pushed back here by our friendly siege tank, doing a ton of damage. Going in on Tassadar, we deal that guaranteed damage with our Q ability, and that's enough to end his life as well. Now, you may be looking at our damage and seeing that we've only done 6,000. But I just want to reiterate that that's 6,000 damage on key targets at key moments. When it's like when we're trying to make a push to kill them, or when we're trying to peel for our team. So it's not a high amount of damage, but it is damage exactly when we want to use it. You know what I mean? We save a charge, we dash in, we're giving a little bit of utility to the team every time we dash with this vision, which hasn't been too instrumental in this. This will be a lot more useful versus a Zeratul versus a Nova. But we are dealing damage to high priority targets. So while it's not a lot of damage done, it is damage to key targets. Very important to distinguish that. At this level range, I think I am going to go for the movement speed increase on my Q. This will allow me to keep up with the targets that I'm trying to deal damage to even more. And again, if we want to talk about utility, I can also give this to allies that are trying to flee combat. Like our Sergeant Hammer, once again. A key target that we need to keep alive, we could do that with some movement speed on the Q. The enemy team is going in for this, however. I wonder if I can get some assistance here. Dashing in, and now I just kind of have to hold my ground. A new Barak is on the way. I still don't know how good of an idea this is. There's the 7-sided strike. I just palmed myself. Hopefully they kill me fast. They did not. And now I died. I used that way too soon. I thought there was going to be a lot more damage coming out of that 7-sided strike. But it looks like our new Barak, with the healing of his Locust, is going to be able to finish off that engagement. Let's say nice job. And he is going to get that camp for the home team. Meanwhile, they were actually doing a ton of damage. Likely what happened up here was a root landed, and then Kael'thas and the Sergeant Hammer were able to just blow up that target. Kind of like what you see right here, where Diablo gets stunned and they just finish him off. It's crazy strong. These two guys are able to do a ton of damage from range. Zeus says hi. The Thundercats are on the move, ripping my house apart, as it were. We are moving up the top lane towards the enemy team. We are going to get Radiant Dash more often. This is going to reduce the cooldown by 2 seconds and give us 1 more charge. We are focused on the dash quite a bit, so this is going to allow us to just use it more. Deal that damage we want to deal. For instance, on this Illidan player right here, taking him down, moving in on Tassadar now. With that dimensional shift, he is going to get away, but we were still able to deal some significant damage. Now we can dash to safety, simply jumping to one of our allied friends here. And we are going to be able to make it out, assuming they continue to run. If they do come in, we are going to be able to heal our Kael'thas just fine. Whew, man. Alright, I'm going to take a second to breathe, because it's getting hard. It's getting hard. You guys, if you ever, a lot of people say that this whole YouTube thing takes no effort at all. If you ever tried casting takes a lot of focus and a lot of energy. And this isn't technically casting, but it's like from a different perspective. It's not easy. Not to say that my job's hard, because I enjoy my job and I'd rather do it than something else. But on days when you're feeling under the weather, it's certainly draining. That being said, let's go back into this and continue having some fun. I just needed a breather. I was like, why am I lightheaded? Maybe it's because I haven't taken a breath in the past 2 minutes or something. So we just need to stick with our Hammer right now. Hammer is going to be zoning out everyone else. And then Kael'thas can just come in here and poke away with his damage. Let's go ahead, use our Deadly Reach on Diablo here. We are going to take him down If they continue to focus my Kael'thas, we're going to just keep him alive with the Divine Palm. The enemy monk is going to be taken down, and now dashing after Illidan. Will we be able to kill him? The shield from Tassadar just a little too strong, but it looks like we are on the court right now. We will be able to take down Tassadar with the Living Bomb. I'm going to walk into this and palm myself. Here we go. This is going to bring me back at full health. Illidan is going to die to the bait. Unfortunately, so did our Nubarak. But we should be able to finish off the core just fine. So there you go. That was my take on Hybrid. Kind of a healing-focused Hybrid Monk. I don't know how good it actually was. Like I said, we didn't have high amounts of damage, but we had high damage on key targets. So I think that's really good, actually. We were able to keep our teammates alive for the most part. The only time I remember dying, I guess I died 3 times. One of my main deaths at that mercenary camp could have been avoided with better timing on our ultimate. Basically, you put this on yourself. If you die while it's active, you're reborn. If you don't die while it's active, then it just goes away, and then you die moments later. Once again, the talents, mana return on every single basic attack. You could go for healing on basic attacks. I'm not sure if the dash Wave 100 Fist actually procs. It does. No. Maybe. I'm not sure if this procs basic attacks or not, so I wasn't sure if we're returning mana every time we dash to an enemy target. That's going to require more testing than I've done. But it didn't seem bad. But essentially, yeah, this is a dash build, but still with a healing focus, because we went for Divine Palm, and we were mostly using our dashes to stick to our allies. But once again, in mana return at level 1, Foresight level 4, Wave 100 Fist, this is how we were dealing damage every time we dashed. Divine Palm to keep our allies alive as we were the only support. Quicksilver allows us to grant a movement speed increase. This is good for us and any friendly allies we happen to dash to. Blinding Speed decreases the cooldown of dash, which is pretty good when your entire build is focused on that, and then gives us 1 extra charge. And then I think, let's go ahead and look at the stats, 32,000 healing. We actually healed for as much as both of the enemy team's supports put together. Actually, yeah, almost identical. That's pretty cool. And then at level 20, I would have gone probably for Epiphany, just so he could dash even more. That's going to allow us to refill 2 of our charges. But that's all for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. The face cam will return once I'm feeling a little bit better, and I'm ahead of my upload schedule again. We're going to be taking a look at some of the characters that were changed the most in this patch over the next few days, so I hope you guys are looking forward to that, and I'll see you all next time.